50 years ago, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the World Health Organization, WHO, established the Codex Alimentarius Commission to protect the health of consumers and ensure fair practices in the food trade. Farmers Shravani Devi Pashar and her husband Om Prakash have probably never heard of Codex, but they're leading healthier and happier lives because they decided to follow Indian organic standards derived from Codex Organics guidelines.
When we started organic farming, we were the only ones in the area. People would laugh at us. But year after year, we saw improvements. Now the people who were laughing at us say we have done a good job.
Shravani and Om Prakash have been refining their methods for 15 years. They use crop residue to feed their animals and animal waste to fertilize the fields. Their irrigation system is run on renewable energy, and their hard work is paying off, with better yields, a healthier environment, and new marketing opportunities.
Now Codex, surprising to say, is becoming the base for the improvement and sustainability of a farmer. How? They are following their standards defined for the harvesting, plowing, watering for the crops. Because of the Codex, now they know the standards. So any company, organic or the conventional, can buy their products on a higher rates.
Since changing their farming methods, their standard of living has been transformed.
Things improved a lot with organic farming. We used to live in a hut, now we have a house. We lived in misery, we didn't have a single penny. Now, thanks to organic agriculture, we have many animals. Our son and daughter are married. We have jewelry, we built a house. All this thanks to our yields.
Shravani is just one of more than 200,000 certified organic farmers whose products are packaged in local factories before distribution to shops in India and abroad. With approximately 2.5 million hectares of land under certification, organic farming here in India looks set for a positive future.
Christine Mugore Munene farms on the slopes of East Mount Kenya. Until recently, she was dependent on seasonal rains to water her crops. Now she has water whenever she wants, at the turn of a tap.
Now I can do anything because the water is flowing continuously.
The water flows not just because there are more tubes and pumps to move it along, but because of something even more essential: trees. Thanks to a pilot project supported by the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, more than 7 million seedlings have been planted in the water catchment along the eastern slopes of Mount Kenya. And it's trees, according to project forester Paul Njuguna, that keep water flowing.
When you have the trees in a water catchment, it helps to ensure that when it rains, the water is held into the soil and it joins the river basin slowly. That ensures that there is sustainability on the flow of the rivers.
But for nearly 4 decades, excessive logging and poor farming practices have reduced forest cover by 5,000 hectares, slowing water flow, eroding soil, and increasing poverty, particularly for the 80% of Kenyans, like Christine, who rely on farming to make a living. Reversing the trend requires changing attitudes, which includes making local farmers responsible for protecting and preserving water resources, says project manager Faith Livingston.
These farmers are the owners of the land, and therefore it was important that the farmers become partners in efforts to conserve the environment, in the efforts also to conserve and manage the water resource.
One way to involve farmers is to encourage them to form groups to manage water resources. Christine is a member of the Kitino Water and River Users Association. Her group teaches other local farmers about good environmental farming practices and encourages them to plant indigenous trees along riverbanks. The group has also hired local gauge readers who come twice a day to monitor water levels in area rivers.
You see, the vegetation cover has improved. The farmers have changed their way of farming, and as well as the pollution in the rivers has lessened. And with the volumes of the water in the rivers have improved.
This spring, which once served just 480 farmers, now benefits more than 3,000, Christine among them. With reliable water, she can grow more high-value crops, like these snow peas bound for Germany. And with the profits, she's hired more workers and purchased more land. The original quarter-acre farm her family worked for generations is now 3 acres, and Christine has plans to expand her operation further.
My plan is that we want to do the introduction of biogas so that we don't cut down trees, using it for lighting and everything else.
Now, with water flowing, Christine can make changes that will improve her farm and her life. One recent innovation is in her kitchen. The water that's been nourishing her crops now fills tanks built into her kitchen fireplace, giving her mother heated water for bathing and cleaning for the first time in her life.
A pristine beach on a tropical island in the Caribbean. But there's been trouble in paradise. Haiti used to be covered in trees like these. But logging for charcoal has left only 2% of the country's forests. It's also right in the center of the Atlantic hurricane belt, leaving the island even more vulnerable to tropical storms that cause floods and landslides, destroying crops, homes, and infrastructure like roads, bridges, and dams. Drought is also a problem. With the increase in extreme weather, no one knows if the crops they plant will make it. Nothing is going to stop these farmers from trying, not even the cheaper imported food that undercuts them. Despite that, in the market, food prices are up. Hunger is on the rise, too. In almost half the municipalities of Haiti, eating more than 1 meal a day is a luxury. At this clinic, near Port-au-Prince, children and mothers are being measured for malnutrition. If the band shows red, it means the child is severely malnourished. If under 2, that means they won't grow to reach their full potential. Widespread, it can set back a whole generation. More poverty, more hunger, more malnourished kids. The World Food Program tries to break this vicious cycle by providing specialized nutritional foods to children and their families. It also buys food from local producers to try and boost the economy. Hope can be found here, in one of the poorest and hungriest parts of the island. I'm here in Tiote. This is an area that's prone to droughts and flooding, and when storms come through here, it tends to erode the soil. We're going to see a project that the European Union and the World Food Program are working together on to help build up the infrastructure here and help people help themselves. There's plenty to sing about here. When storms hit, these deforested hills used to channel the rain into floods, washing away homes and crops. WFP and the European Commission pay these people, more than 2,500 of them, to build stone walls and plant bamboo to prevent soil erosion.
I think if you come back there after the next hurricane season, you will find that some crops that would normally have been washed away will have survived. It's a question of us giving them a hand, making them resilient, helping them to reduce the risk of that they carry from these disasters.
It's payday in Belle-Anse. Bien Heureuse has a food stall near the market. She told me that she uses the money she earns from WFP and the European Commission building walls and planting trees to pay for her children's education, buy food for her family, and invest in her business. Hunger and poverty have met their match. Building a path to paradise is not easy, but fighting hunger by helping Haitians help themselves is a step in the right direction.